Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I apologize in advance for my voice. I think I'm coming down with a bit of a cold, and yeah, I'm not looking the most fabulous, but I was still a bit inspired to do this video. I was watching Jennifer's channel and Chanel's channel. I'll link them below. You guys probably all know them, Chanel, Botang, and Jennifer. Jennifer does makeup, Chanel does makeup as well, and they did videos on waiting for the one, singleness, and stuff like that. Well, today I wanted to do a video on the topics of singleness and self-love. Now this is going to be a bit from my perspective, and I just drew encouragement from them because they're young female Christians, and yeah, I just really was able to relate to that. But this is for all my brothers or my sisters, anyone who wants to watch this. Is all for you. I don't discriminate at all, but just letting you know, I am of course a female. I'm a Christian, and yeah, I'm 24 years old, so it's going to be from kind of my perspective. So yeah, but I don't pass any judgment on anyone or anything like that. If you want to listen to the video, it's fine. Take whatever you want from it. As long as I'm helping you, then it's all good. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about kind of my journey, a little bit of background of myself and what I've learned. And yeah, I just thought their videos were so great. I'll link them below. I thought they were so great, so inspiring, encouraging, and just real, you know. Just their real stories, from Chanel being from singleness to being married and making her declaration to God about being married within a year, to Jennifer and God speaking to her through her singleness. I think they were just great perspectives, so just wanted to bounce off of that really. Like I said, I'm 24 years old and I've always been single for my whole life. I know, my love life is dry. It always has been. But it's a thing where, yeah, I've always been single. I've gone on dates and stuff and seen guys and whatever, but I've never gone into a serious committed relationship, like, ever. So I've never had a boyfriend, never had a boo, anything like that. So yeah, just getting that out there. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where society really tries to put you in a box, and I think ever since I was in like secondary school, like I used to feel it from like since like year 8, 9, I feel like there was pressure on me to be in a relationship, and I used to get so down and beat myself up so much about the fact that I didn't have a boyfriend or no one liked me or anything like that. Like, I wasn't the most, like, I don't know, trendy girl or anything like in secondary school. So, and I went to an all-girls school as well, which had its ups and downs. Like, it was a great time looking back, like, but it had like its pros and cons, I guess, like, because I didn't really have like any, I don't know, I just wasn't really around a lot of males like any of the time, like, or had like really close relationship with males like close to my age, so I didn't really get to socialize with guys. So yeah, throughout my whole secondary school life, like, no guys. Like, and my parents were quite strict, so it was like school, home, school, home. Like, there was no sleepovers or anything like that. I'm Nigerian, so I'm not gonna go into it. But there was no sleepovers, there was no anything like that. Yeah, so when I got to college, basically I was petrified of guys. Like, I'm just gonna be real, I was petrified of guys, petrified of talking to them, of them hearing me speak, which is one of the reasons why I was really quiet in college, amongst other things. But yeah, I just felt like, wow. And the people that I used to hang around with, obviously everyone around me, they already hung out with guys, they already familiarized themselves, they already knew. So I was just weird, I was just kind of the outsider, and they didn't really help me in those terms. Like, I didn't really feel like I related to anyone like within my like social group. I just kind of felt a bit outside in that aspect, and there was no one really to like, yeah, talk to about how I felt. So I was just seen as kind of like the weird girl, the outsider, the one that was like so scared to like talk to guys or be around guys. But anyway, I'll explain that more in my college video because a lot went down. But yeah, basically that's a little like background about me, and I didn't really get comfortable really talking to guys until I would say uni. But even in uni, it was still kind of fresh to me. But I guess I came out of my shell a little bit more in the final year of uni. But I would say now I think I'm my most comfortable talking to guys. I don't really think I have a problem talking to guys like just on a surface level. I think it's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm not petrified or scared anymore. But yeah, that's kind of my background with that. In terms of me being single, I think it's a thing where everything happens for a reason. I think God really moves in different ways in different people's lives, and I feel like maybe he saw me and he thought, don't think this girl is emotionally or mentally ready for a serious relationship. So I've come out of that space where I'm like, oh, like, why, God, why am I just alone? Why am I single? It's just like, maybe it's not the best time for me to be in a relationship. Maybe I'm supposed to be single for this period of time because I'm not emotionally ready, I'm not mentally ready. And it's a thing where I've seen so many of my friends in not the greatest relationships or gone through heartbreak, and sometimes I just actually sit back and thank God, and I'm like, wow, at least I didn't have to go through that. I kind of saw their trip ups, their mistakes, or their boyfriend's mistakes or girlfriend's mistakes, and kind of learn from that instead of it being me in the hot seat, if that makes sense, which is always better, learning from other people's mistakes rather than you going through it yourself. So yeah, I just took it. That's more recently how I've taken the path that I've been kind of dealt with. And I just want to say, like, being single, especially as a young woman or man in your 20s, I think it's a great thing. It's a great thing, like, especially during secondary school. I don't think anyone should be in a relationship with secondary school, first off. But during secondary school, college, uni, you should really be discovering yourself and loving who you are, who you're becoming, and really molding yourself. Those are your selfish years to really get into yourself and know who you are. I really do feel like the best relationships work when you know who you are, not when you're searching for who you are in someone else, if that makes sense. Because I feel like when you know yourself and the person that you're with knows themselves, the relationship works so much better than if you don't really know what you're doing, don't really know where your life is going, then you're looking for someone else for that kind of love or whatever, and it's just like, ugh. It's just a bit messed up. So I think that definitely those kind of ages, like, I don't know what age that is, like secondary school, you start like year 7 is like age 11 to like when you graduate is like you're like 21, 22, depending. So those years, find yourself, enjoy. There's so much social pressure to be in a relationship. Like, that's all you hear in songs, that's all you see in the films, that's all you read in books. Like, it's too much. Like, especially slow jams. Like, ask me why I was into slow jams in like year 8 or year 9. But slow jams and like R&B music and hip hop and all of that, like, I love me some hip hop, don't get me wrong. But like back in the day especially, but even now, it's like everything, all the genres, pop, everything, all love, like, and not like real love, just like what my pastor calls Hollywood love. And obviously if you're listening to this and you're like 15, 16 years old, you're like, oh, where's mine? Oh, I need a boyfriend. Oh, I want to relate to this song. But it's like, you don't have to. Social pressures of being in a relationship when you're not ready is just too much. Know yourself, love yourself. Like, I feel like the lessons of self-love have just been completely lost. Like, whatever happened to being satisfied with yourself first? Like, that's why I feel real relationships really flourish, when you know yourself but you're building up the other person, but not in a way that it's not dependency. Like, when you're lacking within yourself and you look outside of yourself and you try and put that in someone else, it's like you're building yourself up for a fall. Because if you rely on someone else to do that, I don't know, if you're lacking something in yourself and you put that in someone else, everybody's human, everybody disappoints everybody. It doesn't matter if they're family, friend, whatever, or your partner, wife, husband, whatever. You put that section of your life into their hands, they will disappoint you. So it's a thing where you can't depend on man. You have to depend on God. He's the only one that's gonna be there all the time. Like, you came into this world alone, you're gonna go out alone. That's just the bare reality of it. If we're meant to be joined at the hip, that's how God would have made us. But we're not. We're all born by ourselves. Even when twins come out, they're by themselves. So just like, God didn't want us to be alone, obviously, but he doesn't want us to depend on anybody, not any human form or man, except for him. Because he's the only one that won't disappoint. He's the only one that won't fail. He's the only one that mercy and grace covers everything. Humans are fickle. Humans have their good days, their bad days. So that's why I say you shouldn't depend on anyone in a relationship. That doesn't become a relationship. It just becomes codependency when you're trying to get something that you can't find inside yourself. I feel singleness, being in a state of singleness, is a great thing because you get to really explore yourself, know yourself, travel, go out with your friends, really know what you enjoy, what you like, establish yourself. You have time to do whatever you want because when you're married, you have to report to your husband, you have to report to your wife before you do anything, go anywhere. And then when the kids come along, it's like they're your life until they move out. So it's just like, really enjoy your singleness because it's kind of the only period of your life where you're going to be kind of completely carefree. So it's one of those things where it's really, like Jennifer was saying, it's not a punishment from God. It's not a bad thing. It's really one of the best times of your life, and you should really soak it in and love it, and just really learn to love yourself, build your relationships. If you're a Christian, build your relationship with God. Anything like that. Just build your hobbies, build your career, like really establish yourself in everything that you're doing. That's your opportunity. It's your chance to shine. It's your chance to really encourage yourself and get out there, see the world, explore, you know, but whilst you have the time, whilst you have the youth. So yeah, I also feel that self-love is a very, very important thing. Whilst you're being single, do not wallow, do not mope about being single. Like I used to do that in like year 8, year 9. Basically I felt like that all throughout like secondary school and college and like uni, and it was just like, this is not getting me anywhere. Like God was probably looking at me like, girl, get it together. Like I'm not gonna give you anyone if you're just gonna wallow. Like, and that's kind of like where I am now. Like I've accepted, I'm just like, hey, being single is good. Like it's a really good thing. It's a time to really explore and really develop your relationship with God and just love yourself for who you are and really discover who you are, because I don't think people really know who they are until maybe, or just start to realize who they are maybe like late 20s, like 25 onwards. So to be in a relationship before that, it's a bit like, what are you doing? Like you don't even know yourself to try and explore and know someone else when you don't know yourself. To me, that doesn't make sense, but hey, each to their own. No, when you know your purpose is another thing, especially with guys. When guys don't know their purpose, they're all over the shop. So if you're dating someone, not saying you should break up with anyone, yeah, but like before anyone comes and like emails me or messages me or anything like that. But I don't know if any females know this, but this is what I've noticed. If a guy doesn't know his purpose or is confused with what he's doing with his life, they're all over the shop. They're just like this. They don't know where they're going. But if a guy is certain and knows his direction, knows where he's going, then that's usually when he's like, right, I'm going to be serious about my relationships. Women can handle more. Women can be searching for their purpose and still handle a relationship. Well, I think men, if they don't know their purpose, they don't know where they're heading, they're kind of all over the shop with a relationship. Because, you know, men, they can't handle more than a couple things at a time. So, yeah, I feel like once you know your purpose, especially as a man, if there's any guys watching this, once you know your purpose, it's so much easier to find someone. I feel like if you don't know your purpose, this is especially if you're a guy, if you don't know your purpose or he doesn't know his purpose, leave relationships alone. Like, unless you feel you can handle it, leave relationships alone. Like, just be single and just focus on yourself. When I say be single, I don't mean be silly, especially my Christian guys. I don't mean be silly and date girls here, there, everywhere and not be serious. I mean just be single. Just enjoy the company of your friends, whether female or male. Enjoy the company of your friends. Don't date and mess people around. Enjoy that company. Establish yourself. Focus. Know your purpose. Then when you've got your purpose, relationships will just be a piece of cake. Then you can just focus on that woman that you want to pursue, and then that's it. You won't be all over the shop. That's what I've realized. Men who don't know their purpose, they're a bit everywhere. But once a guy knows his purpose in life and knows where he's heading in that direction, they're cool. They're fine. But it just dropped on me today that there's just so much focus on guys, so much focus. I feel like I'm back in secondary school again. So much focus on like marriage and guys, relationships. Being single is terrible. Like, no, being single is not terrible. Let me just reiterate that. Being single is not terrible. It's good. You get to know yourself. You have more time to focus on you. You get me time. I don't know about any of you guys, but I love my me time. And sometimes I do get a bit sad, thinking like, oh, like, one day I actually have to get married and like some of my me time will be gone. Not in a bad way, but you know. So you just have to enjoy the me time and the experiences you get to do things alone, like whilst you can, before you get in a relationship, before you get in that marriage, because hey, you're with that person for life, honey. So yeah, it's just like there's so much focus, and I feel when you focus on something so much, it's just a thing where like you have to have that peace. I don't know, personally, when I pray, I just have that peace of mind that things are in his hands, in God's hands, and things will work out. I don't know, there's some people that have like doubts, like, oh my gosh, like my family's so difficult, like will they accept if someone comes in, or like, oh, where's my husband, I've been looking, I've been in church, and It's just like, look, for the first one, everyone's got that crazy member in their family. I don't care who you are, no matter how perfect you think you are, everyone's got that crazy one in that family, and if you don't, you're the crazy one. Point 2. So don't worry. And if what God has put for you, no one can take it away from you. So if that's your husband, if that's your wife, your family's not going to stop it. If that's what God wants you to do, if that's what is meant to be in your life, it will happen. Do not worry about it. Just have that peace from God. The second point, just be calm. I think there's nothing worse than rushing into a relationship or marriage. This is what I was just thinking on the train on the way home today. I would much rather be sad and alone than sad and with someone. I think it would be terrible to be in a relationship or a marriage and just be feeling like, why am I here? Like, God forbid that happens to me or anyone that I know or any one of you guys. Like, I would much rather be upset of being lonely than being upset and in a relationship, like, any day. So you just have to see it as that, because marriage is a serious thing. And I think a lot of people these days, they just think about the wedding and, oh, lovely, a party and everything, friends, family, yay. Marriage is like a contract. Like, seriously, marriage is a contract. It's serious. Like, God forbid having a divorce. Like, I don't wish that on anyone, because it's very serious and it's like, it's heartbreaking. So you need to go into thinking about a marriage and your husband or your potential wife with a level of seriousness. You can't just be doing it because you're lonely and then you rush into a relationship and then it's terrible. No, like, rather you should be thanking God, okay, you're giving me this time to really search for the one, you know, to really search for my soulmate, someone who I'm gonna be with forever and just honor you with. Like, that should be your goal, because your goal is marriage, maybe, or like a lifelong partner. You're gonna be with this person for the rest of your days. Like, this has to be the right person. So if it's taken a while, don't rush it. Like, really, do not rush. Rather be happy with the right person further on down the line than be unhappy and be in a terrible relationship with someone right now. Like, yeah, that's my thing on it. But before this just gets dragged out really long, I'm just gonna cut it here. Maybe I'll do like a part 2. But those are just some of the points. Like, don't lose faith in yourself or God, if you're a Christian, or God, or anything like that, and really learn to love yourself. This is to everyone. Love yourself. In this time when you're single, just really learn to love and improve on yourself. And another thing, dress to impress. Like, do your makeup, do your hair, and like, work on yourself. Do whatever makes you feel good. Like, if there's any hobbies or skills you want to improve on, anything you want to learn, like a language, if you want to go back to college, you want to go back to uni, do that now whilst you have the time, whilst you have the headspace for it, you know. Improve on yourself. Do whatever you want to do in this time frame, because trust me, when you're with someone and when you have kids, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Your time and space is going to be with them, and then you is kind of going to fall back. When you know yourself, your intuition becomes so much more sharper, and you know what's for you and what's not for you. We have that thing, especially I call it vibes. If I have a good vibe with someone, I've never been wrong. Especially when it comes to like relationships, or like meeting like my friends, guys, whatever, or anything like that, or anyone I know, like their boyfriends, whatever. I've never been wrong. When I get a good vibe, I let them know. When I get a bad vibe, I always let them know. So it's one of those things that go with your instincts. Is definitely a spiritual thing, definitely a voice from God. Go with your instincts and just love yourself, work on yourself until that person comes around. As a woman, you should be chasing no one down. They should be knocking at your door. Like, I'm not saying never talk to any guys ever. They have to come and talk to you. No. You can talk to guys, you can be friendly, do things, but I mean, like, do not hound down guys. God will bring them to you naturally. It will just happen. It will just flow. And yeah, you just have to be expectant and just wait on it. Be patient. But until then, work on yourself. Be the best that you can be. Like, if you want to lose that weight, lose that weight. Do what makes you feel good. You know, work on your skills. Whatever you want to do, work on that. So, yes. I guess my main message is, yeah, just enjoy your singleness. Enjoy your time. Because right now it's all about you. This is the only time in your life it's going to be all about you. So just enjoy it, embrace it, really soak it in. And yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm booking holidays. I'm trying to lose that weight. I'm trying to just build up my confidence and be the best person I can be. Get that work experience in. I'm volunteering. I'm trying to build up my career. I've done my master's. I've done my undergraduate. You know, really trying to get that work in. Like, I'm just trying to build up my relationship with God. Trying to be the best that I can be and everything like that. I'm building up my hobbies, my skill sets. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to read and just really improve my mind, try and be wiser. That's what I'm doing. So I guess we'll see where the journey takes us, you know. But singleness is not a bad thing. And I just want all my ladies, all my guys to really love yourselves. Go for your purpose. And I find the best way to find your purpose, as my pastor says, is just helping others. The more you help others, the more you'll find what your purpose is. Because I found what my purpose is by helping others. That's what I did. By serving in my church, by serving outside, by helping others I'm praying as well. Putting it into prayer is another key thing. So yeah, find your purpose, love yourself, and just keep on doing you. But until next time, guys, because I think my camera's about to die. So I guess I'll be back with a part 2. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe, share. Bye.